guys, welcome back to my channel. So I'm just gonna jump right into everything. I used my Olay moisturizer to prime my face, let everything soak in and moisturize. Then I'm taking my LA Girl Pro concealer to prime my eyelids first. Then I'm gonna blend everything out with a regular concealer brush. To make sure it extends out, go close to the inner corners of my eyes, just so wherever I put eyeshadow, everything is basically, it has an even base. Had to find my words for a moment. Then I'm going to smooth it out even more with a beauty blender. I'm sorry, not beauty blender, but it's a Real Technique sponge, but I like both, so whatever was closest to me. Then I want to set it with a setting powder. Now I have really oily eyelids, so I tend to go for a setting powder to set it more compared to just an eyeshadow. Now I do go above my eyebrow as well, just because in my T-zone area I'm super oily, so I like to make sure everything is set. Okay, now I'm using the Morphe 3502 palette. I went in with the color Orb as my transition shade. I'm blending that all over my crease, extending it out just a little bit. And then I went in with a blending brush as well, just to blend in, make sure everything is nicely blended, everything looks smooth for my next shade that's gonna go in. Disclaimer, I did have 2 bites on my cheeks, so just wanted to let everybody know. Now keep blending everything out, even though there's a shade that's going to be going on top of it. It's better to have everything blended out anyways. Now I went in with a Sephora brush and I'm just popping a little bit more brighter of a shade in there, and I used the shade Heat in the palette. I wanted to make everything stand out just a little bit more fiery. So I did keep applying the shade until I did come up with my desired pigment. Then I also blended that out as well. And then I wanted to make it look even more smokier, make all of the colors more, what word is that? Okay, I'm just gonna go with the word smoky. I wanted it to be a little bit more smoky, so I went in with the shade Rich, and it was more of a pencil brush to bring everything out. I went in towards the crease, and then now I'm also blending that out. I do end up keep applying the shade Rich in there just because I want it to look a little bit more darker as well. So again, just keep adding until you come up with your desired pigment. Now I am not a pro at cut creases, so this does not look the best at all, but I did try, and I did not want to leave that off camera because there's trial and error with everything. So yes, there is not any perfect edges here. Then I went in with my finger with the shade Pure in the Morphe 3502 palette. It does come out a little bit better when you're using your finger compared to a brush. I did use a brush just to get the small edges that I couldn't get to with my finger, as you will see right here. Then I went in with the shade Rich again. Well, I'm sorry, that wasn't Rich, that was Heat. just to make everything look a little bit more seamless and blended towards the cut crease. I will end up using Rich as well to bring it in. It was a mixture of Rich and Heat. I'm so sorry. Rich and Heat to blend everything closer together. And then I wanted Pure to look a little bit more standoutish, so I did apply a little bit more of that onto the center of my lids. Then I went in with my e.l.f. primer. It's not my favorite primer, but I was running out of my Benefit Professional, but it's not the worst primer either. Like, it's a pretty good primer for such a cheap price, so I did go with that one. I used a more condensed Morphe brush to blend that all out into my face before going in with a Real Technique sponge. The foundation I'm using here is the Becca foundation. I got that a recommendation off of watching an Ace Family video. Catherine uses it and she has a perfect skin, so I wanted, of course, perfect skin. Then I'm going in to blend everything out with a damp Real Technique sponge. Make sure everything goes blended into your neck as well. You don't want no streaky lines or any unevenness, so even if it takes you forever to blend everything out, I suggest that you do it. Then I'm going in with my concealer again, which is the LA Girl Pro Concealer. I believe that's in the shade Porcelain. It's a little bit of a red undertone for me, so you're going to see that I do add in my Tarte concealer just to make it a little bit more brighter and more yellow. I'm not a fan of red undertone, even though I do have some red undertones in my skin. I rather it appear a little bit more yellower. Then I go into my Real Technique sponge with the edges and just blend everything in. Sorry about the background. It was a windy day and I did this outside. Then I'm going in with my Airspun powder to go in under and set all the places that I put my concealer. Usually in the areas where my T-zone is most oily, I like to put a lot of setting powder in. Then I'm going in with the LA Girl powdered foundation, and I am trying that, and it's actually pretty good. Instead of using setting powder on the rest of my face, it's not as heavy, and I do kind of like a glowy finish even though I'm very oily, so it kind of helps out with that as well. Then I'm going in with my NYC bronzer with my Benefit Hoola bronzer brush, and I'm just not really contouring, just bronzing up everything. Then I'm dusting off all of the translucent powder that I put on. Now I'm applying highlight. I used, the Fenty highlight, I believe in Hustler Baby. Putting it on all the places that I wanted to glow, which is on my cheeks, some on my forehead, and those angles where you kind of want it to be highlighted. Then I'm lining my lips with one of my NYX Cosmetics lip liners. Any really nude color would do fine, just to outline it. Just anything a little darker compared to what lip gloss I was using, which is the ColourPop I Love Sarai's collaboration with them. The darker shade just helps your lips look a little bit more plump. Then I'm gonna clean it all up with some concealer. Actually, that wasn't concealer, that was whatever I had left on my hand from my foundation. Then I'm spraying with my Mario Badescu spray. I did misplace where my my MAC Fix Plus was. Then I'm trying out that Lancome mascara that I Love Sarai uses all the time, so I wanted to try it out, so I got the trial size before I buy the huge one, and it's actually pretty good. Kind of reminds me of using the L'Oreal telescopic one anyways, but we'll see. Then I pop some lashes on. Now I'm gonna do my under eye by my lash lines, smoking out the bottom. Then I'm popping some highlight in the inner corners of my eyes, just finishing everything up. And there we go, guys, that's the finished product. Hopefully you like it. Please like and subscribe for more makeup tutorials. I'm also going to try to get into vlogging, so hopefully you guys like that.